I'm actually hungover as hell. We
Oh,
went
you
out
must
for
have.
we went out drinking last night for my one of my son's birthdays. So I'm like, this is my third cup of coffee. I'm trying to wake up.
Oh, okay. So what time is it over there at the minute? Sorry, Carolina.
Right
What in
now it's
Thursday?
11:45 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been up since like 7, but
Yeah.
just slow.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. I've had plenty of those moments.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm at that age now where hangovers don't just last a single day.
I know, right? Oh, and then so we went out to dinner last night for my son's birthday, and then we're actually having the party tonight.
Oh
So,
shit!
yeah, so everyone's coming over tonight and we're going to drink again.
Hair of the dog, mate. Hair of the dog. You must
I'm
have Irish
saying,
blood, have you?
right? Yeah, my wife's her side of the family is actually Irish.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
yeah, oh yeah. So her
Yeah.
dad's last name is Christie. Her mom's maiden name was Sullivan, like O'Sullivan, and oh yeah. So I used to before
Nice.
her grandfather passed away. Him and I used to do, we used to drink together a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So let me check
Yeah.
the recording or the audio things settings. Are you're able to hear me okay?
Yeah. Absolutely fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and your audio sounds great. So yeah, we're good. Well, anyway, I'm Eric,
Hi, Eric.
and you're Curly, right?
Curly. Yeah. You can call us Joe. That's my real name.
Joe.
Correct. GOE.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's so Curly's your call sign, right?
It is. Yes. It is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Unelected.
Oh, somebody who gave you that nickname?
It's funny. I mean, I suppose nobody really chooses their own nickname, do they? But
Right.
it was sort of where we play our local airsoft site, Dirty Dog. Uh, Rep and Dirty Dog.
Yep.
Um, they always take pictures every game day, and there's a particular picture. You'll most likely be able to see it on my profile actually, where there's sort of three heads just sort of peeking over the ridge of a hill, and
Yep.
I'm sort of like, and Richard, who's one of the site owners, called us. Uh, oh my God, what are they called? Jesus, Curly, Mo,
Oh, the Three Stooges.
Stooges. That's the one. Because
Yeah.
originally, I just started out of stupidity, started calling myself Stooge, and I thought that just sounds shite, and you don't really pick your own name. And
No.
then all of a sudden, it just popped up with a picture of just people putting names up, and Curly was hanging above my head, and people just started calling us Curly from then on in.
Oh
And I
my
just
God,
thought,
that's funny.
okay, well, I guess I'll roll with it. I've been
Yeah,
told
right.
worse.
Yeah, for real. I know. Yeah, I used to work with this guy, and he would always, joke around, and we'd come into work. He'd go, "Hey, pumpkin," and I said, "Don't ever call me that again." Oh my God.
But pumpkin. As long as he
Right?
wasn't kissing the back of your neck as you were saying it,
Yeah,
he was just
exactly.
passing by. Like, little kiss on the back of your neck. Hi, pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, you're about to get throat punched, bro. So
Instant
man,
violence.
you got some cool guns back there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few more to be added to me armory. I thought I could do it against a white plain wall, or I can do it against the my armory.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, I've literally just got all M16s,
Yeah.
M16s.
Yeah.
Um,
It's cool.
but the A1, the G&G A1, that gets used quite a lot because I run a Vietnam loadout quite often. It's very much into my history. I sort of go against the grain in regards to airsoft loadouts. I generally
Yeah.
don't pull a modern loadout. I have been recently since the winter's been in because it's just so much more functional to have, warmer kit and stuff like that. As
Yeah.
you probably well known, that winters in the UK aren't very forgiving. But during the summer, nine times out of ten, I will run quite a historic kit. So I've got American sort of Gulf War gear, and the likes, and generally just pick up bits and bobs as I go along. But yeah, a full couple of 3 generations of M60.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you
And then
can't
you
see
got your
because of my
pistols too.
fat English white face. Um, but this is one actually I've just picked up yesterday, which is the hater.
Oh, the hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guys don't actually know about this yet, so
Oh
yeah,
shit.
they will when this comes out. Yeah, I think there's a fair bit of plagiarism happens in our group of guys, our team, Sarah. Um, yeah, illicit sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of plagiarism that happens. I mean, it's purely down to the fact that some guy gets a gun, somebody gives us a go with their gun. We go,
Mm.
it's really fucking nice. I really want one,
Yeah.
and then get said gun. So yeah, so the hater. That's the latest addition to the arsenal.
Yeah, those are
But
nice.
I've not had a chance to skirmish it yet. But
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, those are fun, man. We got one. One of my sons got it a while ago, and I think it was the version 2 after it came. The second
Yeah,
version came out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we did a review on it and stuff. It was really fun.
So I only just learned last night that there's a version 2. I
Hmm.
just thought there was a hater. And obviously, what came is the version 2 with the grey trigger and slide.
Right.
Um, yeah, and only learned last night. Pricey, who's one of our guys, Callsign Pricey, not
Yeah.
as banter. He got the hater in white originally, and all the lads were like, "Fuck, that's so nice."
Yeah.
Brought it to the last game, and he thought, "I really want it in black too." So he got the black one, and fortunately, the one that he got actually has a threaded barrel, and they only made a very very small amount of them, and they actually
Huh.
come with a fully printed hater logo on there
Oh
in
yeah.
white and red. Super rare, and it was just a pure freak event that he managed to get one of these, so he can fit a silencer, and it looks the absolute dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much when he set his up with his miniature sight, laser pointer, and when I got mine, I thought, "Where's the thread?" Obviously, I got one of these ones pre-market that doesn't have one. So,
That
so yeah,
yeah, the white one I saw, I've seen pictures online of it. It looks like the Ace of Spades pistol in Destiny 2. The video game Destiny
yeah.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what drew my mind to it when
Yep.
I first picked it up.
Hell yeah.
I thought, yeah, I fucking need one of those. So
Right.
one of our guys has got a Caltech as well,
Yeah.
which very much reminds me of a Destiny slash Halo battle rifle.
Yep.
But yeah, comes with a very spicy price.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got one of the guns we got we called it the Halo gun when we did the
Yeah,
review on it, because it was multicam, camouflage painted. It was, I think it was a bullpup style where the mag was in the back, but
yeah,
and it looked like the Halo like battle rifle.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it was pretty
Um,
cool.
there's a guy on Sunday rocked up with like a Halo style battle rifle, and it looked fucking brilliant. I think it might be 3D printed.
Yeah,
It looked absolutely awesome. I didn't get the chance to speak to him, unfortunately, but it looked very cool. And
you
he was rocking
guys.
like a. Sorry, go on.
Oh, you guys have a really cool field, like the Dirty Dog field or
Yeah,
whatever you guys play at. It seems
we
really
do.
active. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So on average, I mean, Sunday the weather was pretty shitty, and the outcome was sort of like the outcast. Sorry, was supposed to be pretty bad day, really windy. So we've been getting absolutely hammered with the hurricanes and whatnot. So the
Oh.
tail end of your guys' hurricanes recently, and this just hasn't been very great for Airsoft.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much of a turnout on Sunday, but you're talking on average. about 120 players per Sunday, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a
But yeah,
lot, man.
yeah, it's huge, but it's a big site. It can
Right.
get overcrowded in the summers, but I
Yeah.
mean, it gains popularity, so you kind of. I mean, the guys are done really well with the site. We used to play there way back in like sort of 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Um, we've been going for quite a long time. Our group of guys, um, and back then it was known as NTAC.
Okay.
There's a bit of history there that I'll not go into because there's politics in play that's not necessary in its own
Yeah.
drama. That doesn't need to be brought up. But yeah, it just sort of wasn't being run correctly. It was run into the ground. The guys that owned it were um, people.
I mean, hey, that's
And,
you're either, you got, yeah, 50-50 chance
I'm,
there.
I'm forgetting that this is going on a podcast, and I'm being very politically correct and polite
Oh
about the
no, don't you
situation.
don't you don't have to. I mean, yeah,
um,
you don't. I mean, obviously, I know you don't want to talk bad about somebody, but well, I wonder if
certain
that,
people I
if
know
that
that stuff.
field, I wonder if the previous owners, I wonder if it started out as a paintball field, years ago and then switched over.
So yeah, basically what happened is there's a guy who owned a lot of land. The guy who still owns that land, sorry, still has a big part in what happens now. However, the guy that previously owned it, he led the owner down a path that wasn't correct. It was very money orientated,
Oh
and
yeah,
the typical sort of political
right.
bump that comes with that subject. But just didn't work out with him.
Yeah.
And one of the regulars that was there, Richard, we used to actually play together quite a lot, but not as a team. Just we used to turn up to that place, and I think you might have been a co-owner back there. Actually, I could be corrected.
Okay.
Sorry, well,
Yeah.
one of the lads are most corrected. Um, and he eventually ended up taking over the whole site, renaming it the Dirty Dog, after one of his beloved pets. Um, and it just went from there, and it's gone from leaps and bounds since. When we used to play there, horrible old porta cabins that were probably laced with asbestos. and, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Just
I mean,
don't
back
eat
then
it.
it was cool.
Yeah.
There was just no such thing as a CQB area back then. It just
Right.
wasn't heard of, especially in the northeast of the UK. And it was like, oh, this shit's cool, man. And then we started to see little red flags happening, and
Oh yeah.
fortunately, that's the past. They've took over. They've come in new. They've getting a whole shitload of shipping containers, 2 floors,
Yeah.
um, massive sprawling area, and then that's not even half of it. They've got an entire wooded area, an entire open land area, the shit tons on top of that,
Yeah.
and it's just for the better.
That's
It's for
cool.
the better, and it's something that we frequent pretty much every other Sunday.
So
Uh,
you guys have like, 100 people showing up just on and this is just like a normal open play day or whatever.
yeah, pretty much.
That's
Yeah, people for
awesome, man.
walk-ons and stuff.
Yeah.
At peak summertime, you're talking you could easily get 200, 220 people, no problem.
That's crazy.
Which can be problematic
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially like if
Uh,
it's not an organized event, if everyone's just showing up, like splitting up
yeah.
teams, who's gonna, you don't know who the rookies are, people that don't know what they're doing and stuff like that. But the good thing
Well,
is you have more targets to shoot because when I was doing paintball back in the day, most of the time we played on my friends' grandparents' land or whatever, just us, and it wasn't an organized field, but we'd go to a field just on an open play, and there's
yeah.
5 of us that show up, and there's nobody at the field. And like, how are you going to play with 5 people?
I
So
remember those days.
yeah, man, like, oh shit. Then we just kind of stand around and wait, for a couple hours for 2 more people to show up, and then, like, oh, we got here
Yeah,
too
I remember
early,
those days as well. Yeah, we used to play at a place called Mars Airsoft, which I forget exactly where it was now. Again, the lads will correct us. But it was literally a small group of friends that I joined in fairly late. I got started talking on Airsoft forums from a guy that had mentioned this mystical new game called Airsoft that I had no idea what it was,
Yeah.
and started talking to a guy, Paul, who's on the Seraph team, and he says, "Well, look, I live kind of right next to you. If you want to come to a gig, I'll take you along." Fucking awesome. So I got myself an M1A1 Thompson, SEMA,
Oh, nice.
Cybergun,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a couple of high cap mags, and rocked up in the middle of February. Average temperature 3 to 4 degrees with
Woo.
World War II desert rat fucking British commando gear on.
Oh yeah.
Uh, he introduced us to his friends, and the rest history. It was literally it's known them since, and yeah,
Yeah.
that was. But like we were turning up to this place sometimes, and it was just like fucking 5 or 6 of us. We were like, oh well, it's 3 against 3.
I know.
Um,
Sucks.
there was there was no shelters. There was nothing. There was a couple of pallets that were vertically placed strategically along field areas, and there was bushes. That was it. That's all we
Yeah.
had. But it was fucking awesome. It was just the best because
Yep.
it was a bunch of lads that had all this shit in common and nothing else. None of the bullshit
Yep.
involved that you sort of really see springing up today in airsoft.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of guys shooting the shit out of each other with plastic BBs. It was fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
balance, right? There's always that when you first start out like a new field or something like that, and there's not too many people, but
yeah,
there's just enough, maybe like 30, 50 people that show up that are, you all get real tight and know each other,
yeah,
and like you can start
yeah,
planning, your own events. Like, hey, let's just meet over here on this day. But then when it gets,
yeah,
really big, it just it can get, you know, then there's more rules, then there's more assholes on the field, then there's more people that don't call their hits, and all kind of shit like that. It just when you
yeah,
don't know everyone, when everyone doesn't know everyone, it's kind of like you know the honor system kind of goes away sometimes because these new
yeah,
people are,
yeah.
they're just immature usually, but
Well, that's just it, though. That's the crux of the whole thing. It's the honor
yeah,
system. People take it quite seriously, and I mean, don't get us wrong. When I get into it, I fucking get into it.
right,
Um, I don't mind rallying people or getting a bit loud and sort of trying to sort of drum a bit of gumption or spunk into people
right,
to move up and do something about the situation. That's I haven't got a problem with that. And if people call us out, and that's fine. I ain't gonna fucking hang myself over it.
right,
But the issue is the whole. There's very much a Call of Duty mindset in airsoft at the minute, and I think
hmm,
it's quite prevalent because there's a lot of drama online.
yep,
You just need to look as far as YouTube to really sort of um, find the drama involved with airsoft at the minute. And realistically, people just need to realise it's a bunch of fucking grown-ups running around a field with a plastic toy,
yeah.
shouting bang or throwing. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah,
on,
it's it. It's a
just enjoy
game.
yourself.
It's a game.
Yeah,
But I think, I think one of the big problems with these the younger generation growing up with, you know, the internet with video games, being able to play online and stuff and chat online is
yeah,
they get used to this. I can say whatever I want to someone else
yeah,
with
yeah.
no
No
bad
consequence.
consequence. Yeah. And when
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
growing up, you didn't, there was no internet, like you talk face to face. If you said some shit,
yeah,
to
yeah,
somebody face, you're going to get your face punched in, like
yeah.
that. Just, there's consequence there. So
This is very much the sentiment that reflects. I
yeah.
think I think it's purely a generational thing. I mean, we might just be old bastards, mate. I mean, that's what it might boil down to. We might
Yeah.
just be fucking old bastards. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 35 personally,
You look great.
and stop.
Oh, stop, pumpkin.
Pumpkin, fucking hell.
uh,
Yeah, like, but I feel there's very much like a deep seated like loathing attitude towards each other these days, like in
Yeah.
regards to airsoft. Like everybody's got to outdo each other, and everybody's got to fuck me, man. Just go on a field, shoot the shit out of each other, shake hands at
Yeah.
the end of the day, and rock on.
Yeah.
Come
You
back next
gotta
week,
be
do the same thing.
tactical. You got to be tactical. Have, show off all your shit and then go blast each other,
Yeah, yeah. What we would call Gucci squad.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, Christ Almighty, we had guys back in the day as well. I mean, I don't know how long you've been playing airsoft yourself, but um, you'd get kids that would rock up, and obviously they've got a lot of money, they live with their parents, and they would
Right.
rock up with the most expensive, pointless shit you've ever seen. And now it's just now that's just the norm. It's
Yeah.
so accessible. I mean, we had a couple of guys on our team who had just the difference was between those guys. They had money, but they knew what they were doing with it, and they just had the fucking coolest loadouts you'd ever seen. It wasn't
Yeah.
flashy. They didn't have fucking NG. Not that I have anything against NG people with NG goggles and stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
it's pointless. Just saying. Um, just my preference.
Yeah.
Um, just they would rock up with these fucking awesome loadouts that they would bundle together themselves. I mean, one of our guys would just have the most obscure Latvian camouflage that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
We'd be like, "Fuck, dude, look at that shit! This is fucking awesome. How can I get a hold of some of this?" Well, you've got to know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. And it was cool, because it was a rare camo, and now it's just a sea
Right.
of tactical operator multicam beige.
Yeah. Right.
I'm,
Well, I know
I'm, I'm,
when these guys first started playing, they went to the first couple of mil sims, and they were like, okay, we want to look badass. We want to look like spec ops stuff. So we're gonna get all
yeah,
black. And it was a an outdoor field, outdoor game, and so I was like, y'all are gonna stand out like sore thumbs, bro. Like, it's not a night game.
yeah,
They're gonna see you
yeah.
from far away. Like, yeah, but we're gonna look cool. So they came back from the thing and they said, yeah, we're not going. We're gonna get camouflage next time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you'll probably know yourself. Like back in the day, I mean, the only thing that we really had was you had DPM,
Yeah.
standard British C95 Combat 95
Okay.
DPM.
Right.
But that shit's kind of getting rare to get a hold of now. And it's becoming increasingly expensive.
Hmm.
Fuck me, it works, especially in this country. Like this time of year, shit, it fucking works. It just works.
Yeah.
And I'm very much about functionality over looks.
Right. Right.
I've always ran an OD kit of sorts, or I've always ran a period related kit.
Yeah.
So I've got multiple styles of Alice weapon there. That, by the way, fucking hard to get hold in this country now.
Really.
Abundance of the shit in your place, obviously, but over here, it's becoming increasingly expensive, really
Huh.
expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll run sort of very. If I want to kind of really go all out and sort of want to be ninja about it and be very tactful, I'll run Penclot in the summer, which I've literally had people walk past us within a
Yeah.
rifle's range, a rifle's length of distance,
And not even
um,
see you. Yeah, that's
and
cool.
not even serious. Yeah, it's fucking great. So I'm very tactically minded in regards to how I play airsoft.
Right. Like
But
what's more
I
functional?
and what's more functional. But then it's the whole because sorry, I should explain. I came from a reenactment background as well, so I used to do like World War II reenacting.
Oh.
Um, I never used to go out into a field and do big battle reenactment stuff like that. We used to set up dioramas where people used to come and see what we had displayed, and we used to run them through and stories behind it, and get people involved historically. And that's bled in to airsoft dramatically for me.
Yeah.
I've got like things like fucking World War One Webley,
Oh shit.
with a kit that I'm working on at the moment, thanks to thanks to one of our boys who gave me that.
That's awesome.
But like, it's the same with the M16s. So
Yep.
I've got the A1, the A2, and the A3. The A2 and the A1 are the ones I get to use the most because they go with me Vietnam kit and my Gulf War kit, etc., etc.
Right.
The M81 kit, US Marine Corps stuff. So yeah, it's funny how it eventually ends up correlating with where you come from, you know.
Yeah. Like, how did you get into the reenacting thing? Because we do, we have
So
that here as well. Like they'll do this, like, especially down south, they'll do like a Civil War, the American Civil War reenactment, and the whole battlefield thing. They'll have cannons out there and kind of do the reenactment of,
yeah,
they get
videos that
shot,
pretty
laid
much.
out. Yeah. So how did you get into
Gettysburg.
something like that?
Well, funny enough, I spent a little time with the military, and I made a few really close friends. One of the lads that I was quite close to, who was in an opposing regiment to me. He was in the Fusiliers, I was in the Rifles. We ended up just becoming really good friends through rivalry. Eventually, when we both got out, he'd done a big tour of Iraq and got fucked up. He ended up catching this horrific disease over there and ended up getting discharged back home. So when he came back home, we got back in touch with each other and started from there. And he basically told us that him and his dad have been doing reenactment since he can remember as far gone. He says, would you like to come down and see how we do things? I thought, fucking great. So I was only down, there's a big sort of, I suppose it's a festival in a way. It's like a reenactment festival in a little place called Pickering, which is about 250 miles from where I am. And it's a huge, huge event, and it covers all spans of reenactment, whether it's, they do everything from Viking, they do everything from World War One, World War Two, Crimean War, etc., etc.
Wow.
And he says, well, actually, I've got some spare kit if you'd like to lend it for the weekend. And you sort of mill in, and talk about history and sort of just dip in. Because they mainly did it for charity to help the Gurkha Welfare Fund. I don't know if you know what the Gurkhas are, but they're a regiment of, and anyway, it went to their welfare fund. And so I put the kit on and I started talking to people and started explaining, this is a 303 rifle, the Enfield, SMLE, blah, 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 blah. And I just got a little bit of a kick out of it. I thought, I just like the kids that would come up, and they would talk, say, it's off Call of Duty. Like, yes, it's off Call of Duty. And they would just love the stories we tell behind these sort of things. And when you looked into the histories, as I got home, I thought, I need to sort of educate myself in regards to this regiment, blah, blah, blah. And I just got this huge kick out of it. And obviously discovered this whole airsoft thing. The same guy who got us into reacting, he says, have you heard of this thing called airsoft? No. Looked into that, and that was my gateway drug.
Yeah.
Into doing it. And yeah, it's bled in. I mean, I've got gear here which is, genuine Vietnam War, Alice webbing and stuff, and M16 pouches. And it just, in fact, on the M16A2, A1, that's a genuine A1 handguard, the old Bakelite ones.
Yeah.
I love having that little piece of history just attached to something physical like that. Knowing there's a possibility that what I'm portraying 50 years, 60 years, 70 years on was actually there. Right. That's cool. That's cool as fuck to me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
And it's funny because I always sort of dip into American history a lot, whereas I've always been very much interested in British history.
Yeah.
Quite naturally. But it wasn't until about 10 years ago I started really getting fixated on the Gulf War, first Gulf War, 1990.
Yep. That's when I was
looking at the American. Oh, was it really?
Yeah. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, fucking hell. Eventually managed to get myself the Pasgit.
There you go. Yeah.
This is taking a long time to get a hold of.
Really?
Fuck, you cannot get these in the UK. Well, you can, but
Yeah.
just at quite a rare rate. And it was more down to the interest of the equipment that was being used, and the choices that were used by the military back then that sort of really sort of made us interested as to why those choices were made, etc.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I say, fucking hell for me bank it has. That's then been the crux of spending ridiculous amounts of money on
Right.
historic equipment. The
Yeah.
jacket, that's original. I mean, you probably would have been issued with one of these desert night parkas,
Yeah.
which are all the rage right now. I
Oh yeah.
seem to be very tactical at the minute. Uh, but yeah, it's funny. Everything I own's American.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. That the desert cami one on the closer to your guns over there. We were
Yeah, the chop chip.
yeah. I was issued that right before I got out, and
Right.
when we were overseas, and I don't. In fact, they didn't even have the new boots out yet. We still had the old
Oh,
black
really?
combat boots when we first went over, and
Yeah.
then later on they came out with the desert boots, which they were like tan suede, you know,
Yes, yes, down the
and
sides, and then they were
yeah,
almost like the jungle boot, weren't they? But they had the
right,
suede on.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah. We got those
yeah.
first, and then the later on they came out. I didn't even get the tan suede ones. I was already out. I got out
Oh,
in
really?
'93, but and then yeah, so yeah, I
Was
still
it
had
what were you in? Sorry, was it the Marine Corps? Or,
yeah the Marine Corps, yeah,
yeah, Marine Corps. I remember seeing
yeah.
something on your page about that.
Okay,
Or no, actually, might have been on a previous podcast. You mentioned it.
gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm very. I mean, I'm very well aware that the Marine Corps was, the old running joke of you guys having the hand me downs from what the army got and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah,
it's it's stuff like that. It's decisions made by higher ups that really gets me brain ticking as to sort of why they made that
yeah.
decision, what was the restrictions, why, you know.
Well, especially back then, I
Uh,
remember we went to I was in Okinawa, Japan, and we went to Naha Port, so it's a big naval port there, and we went there and they were offloading all these vehicles that we had to drive
yeah,
back to. We had to ride along and drive back to this motor pool. And when we got back there, they wanted us to. They were Army Humvees and Jeeps and whatever, and 5 tons, and they still had the Army tag on the side. The spray painted tag with the
yeah.
serial number and everything. It said U.S. Army. Here we are driving them back, and we had to spray paint over that the Marine Corps, and we're like, "What the fuck is this, man? We're getting this shit that they don't want anymore." It's probably broke.
Yeah, you probably made better use of it than the army, though.
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
wasn't just
got
wasn't just used for transporting coffee and beer.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It was fun. It was fun. It was always something like that, and that was the running joke. And then of course the other one you'll see memes on about the Marines is we eat crayons, like
Yeah, I've
Crayola
seen
crayons. So
that.
anytime we're out somewhere, or like my granddaughter, my son and his wife bring over the kids. Uh, my granddaughter's 3. She'll start drawing. We'll get the crayons out. And there's always a running joke, like Dad, stay
you
away from.
start you
Don't
start
eat
getting
it. Yeah.
salivating.
It's like it's not a snack, okay?
Lips start watering.
uh,
Yeah,
it's funny.
but it's
So what
it's.
is
I mean, do you?
oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
go on.
No, man, go
No,
ahead.
no, you first.
Man, my shit's boring. I want to hear your stories.
No,
I'm serious.
sorry. What were you going to ask, my friend?
Oh, I was going to ask you, and I didn't want to change the subject, but what is on the top shelf over there, behind there? Are those figures of Star Wars and?
Oh, yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Um,
Really?
Massive Star Wars fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of shit on my floor at the minute because but I mean,
Yeah. Don't. That's fine. Oh my God, bro.
yeah.
That is awesome.
I don't
What?
know. Don't ask us. So that's why there's a Dremel there. The wife was using it for something earlier.
Yeah.
She hasn't put it back. But yeah, got the
Oh
old
shit.
kit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, huge Star Wars fan. Um, but yeah, I've been collecting for a while. I've actually only recently just downsized with my Star Wars gear because it was just getting too much.
Yeah.
I needed more room for airsoft stuff. So yeah,
Exactly.
um, I used to have a full Stormtrooper kit, but I
Oh my
sold that
god.
recently because
That'd be
lockdown.
awesome to wear on the field.
You'd hear us. The noise from that thing wearing it is horrendous.
Really?
Oh, absolutely horrendous. Like just the slightest step, it would just clink and clunk. It was
Oh yeah.
so. I can only imagine what it must have been like on set for the sound guy.
Right?
Doing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Edit all
Absolutely.
that shit out.
Oh god. Absolutely horrific. But I, I think getting hit by BBs wearing that would be yeah, it would be a bit noisy.
Right? Oh yeah.
That's whether or not the plastic would actually hold up because it's only like 0.46 mil or something like
Oh wow. Yeah.
that. So it's really thin plastic, but yeah, unfortunately lockdown wasn't very friendly to my waistline, so I had to
Yeah.
it doesn't fit us
Oh, I
anymore.
hear you. Yeah.
But yeah, weird catching up.
Like most people, man. Shit. It's,
Yeah, we're all on the same boat.
Oh yeah. That's
But
funny.
yeah, how do you correlate any of your previous experiences in the UMC with airsoft? Do you find yourself going into back into old ways or old habits or anything? Or
Yeah, I mean, some of those habits, stick with you for sure. I mean, you were in the
yeah,
military, like the most common that stays with you is the weapon handling, you know.
yeah,
Uh
yeah,
and then when I first started using a airsoft gun, we'd start doing reviews and stuff like that. The thing I found was my natural instinct, habit was to get a sight alignment and sight picture, and it doesn't work in airsoft. So
no, it doesn't. It just doesn't.
because the BB doesn't go, perfectly straight most of the time because there's wind or, the hop up's not perfect or whatever it is. So that was my focus was on the front, sight post and, for my sight picture. So then I'm watching the BB and I'm like, shit, okay, it's
Yeah,
not going where I'm aiming. That was probably, but those habits, those will never go away. I mean, I got out of the Marine Corps, like I said, in '93. That's a long ass time ago. And
yeah,
we'll go, I went years without shooting long distance, long range.
yeah,
And we have a outdoor range pretty close to us that, it's free, it's open. Everyone just goes there and just, you blast whatever you want, machine guns and everything. And, so we had both my sons have AR-15s, AK-47s, shit like that. So we go out there, and my son wanted to sight in a scope, but I wanted to sight his iron sights in for him, first. So I was,
yeah,
and I had taught them how to do this stuff, but it had been a long time since we had gone out. But anyway, all that stuff comes back. Like all of
yeah,
the breathing, the squeeze the trigger, not pull it, like all those kind of things came back, and it was, you're just plinking at 100 yards, just plinking a little can with iron sights. It's really fun. I
yeah,
like the long range stuff, but as far as the tactical training stuff, like in the field, there's a lot I remember, but my body doesn't do it anymore.
yeah. That's the difference, though, isn't it?
No, I'm saying,
That's where this whole thing lies.
you put all that fucking gear on and you start walking in, unstable, like uneven terrain, and you're unbalanced because you got the pack and all your shit on. I'm like, bro, I haven't worn
Yeah.
this shit in 30 years, like I'm about to fall over.
Yeah, you're walking like you shit yourself. Yeah,
Right? Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's when you go to do a very quick get up from a
Yes.
kneeled position, and then you
Yep.
go, hang on a minute, my legs don't want to do that anymore.
Uh-uh.
And what seems like it's pretty fast is the speed of custard. You just feel like a useless sack trying to
Oh
get
my
out of bed.
God.
Like
Yes.
absolutely horrific. But yeah, I'm at that point now.
Yeah.
But then again, I do also blame me lackluster stance on me fitness levels. Just letting myself drop out
Oh yeah.
the past 2 years. But I'll get back there. Don't worry. I've got a plan in action very soon.
Good. Hell yeah.
I will be slim curly.
Hell yeah. That's cool.
The
Now
man you see
so you're
before
on
you.
the you play at Dirty Dog. Are you on the you play with who have I had on the podcast? Vixen? Is she
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah. So I
and
don't think I've
Red
actually.
Panda?
Yes. So I haven't met Red Panda. I know of her, and I've quite possibly fought against or with her, possibly.
Gotcha.
When everybody's wearing masks and shit, you don't generally,
Right. You can't
you
tell.
know, it's quite difficult. But yes, Vixen. I haven't met her personally, but we have talked on Instagram and stuff like that. But primarily, whenever we go down to Dirty Dog, it's usually as Team Sarif, a group of lads. Every so often, all of those guys can't make it. Like last Sunday, there was only three of us, and
Okay.
we just mucked in together with all of us. There's quite a few lads that we bump into quite regularly and play, shoulder to shoulder. The likes of Sonesk and James, he's a good guy. Strange Airsoft.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I think I follow all your guys on there.
yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
Callsign Watcher as well. He's a cool kid.
Yep. Watcher, yeah.
Strange but cool. Yeah, there's quite a few of them, and it's funny you should say this because I think Dirty Dog's the only place where I've seen a very very prominent role of female airsofters coming
Mm-hmm.
into airsoft lately,
Yeah.
and it's fucking cool to see, man. It's good
Hell
to see. Um, for it to be a male dominated area,
Right.
quite naturally because it's boys and their toys. But
Yeah.
as time's progressing, there's a lot of female characters sort of getting in on the action, and a couple of them, to name a few, the only two gingers that actually go there, um, Pyro Ginge and
Yep.
Ginger Ginger Dreamer Sprinkles, I think the whole name is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they both get stuck in. They both get stuck in. They're not these namby-pamby sort of Barbie girls, I suppose.
Right.
They don't mind getting their hands dirty, and yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah,
It's
I've
cool. They
actually
don't mind shooting.
yeah, the Ginger Sprinkles or whatever, I forget her name, but
Yeah,
I've messaged her as well and
yeah.
invited her on the podcast. We're gonna plan something soon.
Oh, cool.
And so I follow her channel and her boyfriend's who's on
Oh,
there as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. He's a
something
good guy.
something pudding.
Yeah,
Yeah, anyway.
barbaric pudding.
Barbaric pudding. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Don't upset him. He drives a tank for a living.
Oh, no, I saw that because I sent him a message one day saying, because I saw his posts that he was, still in the military. And,
Yeah. Mhm.
I sent him a message saying, hey, thanks for your service. That's a cool picture. He was sitting with his guys, like his tank crew, whatever, on a tank.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Cool as fuck.
See,
Yeah, he's a good guy as well.
I'm tactical right now. I got this we went out to dinner last night and my granddaughter gave me this little she called it a power bracelet. So
Oh,
I told her I'd wear it until she came over today.
oh, bless.
I forgot I had it
Oh,
on
bless
until
you.
I put my hand. I was like, oh shit, I still got this thing on. But yeah, anyway.
It just means you can wear it airsoft and you can carry your pack a bit more with a bit more etiquette. What it is.
I know,
As
right?
you play airsoft better, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put some flower
But, yeah.
patches on it.
Yeah, definitely. That's funny. That's a very very airsoft thing right now as well. There's a lot of flamboyantness in airsoft.
Yeah.
At the minute.
Oh yeah.
Which hey, look, fucking hell, do what you do. I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
There's things I have problems with. There's things I don't have problems with, but they're my personal opinions, and they don't fucking matter. I can be a grumpy old twat sometimes, and that's fine. But yeah, it's a very diverse sport. I'm going to say it's a sport. People will
Yeah, for
argue
sure it is.
otherwise. It's a fucking sport
Yeah, it is.
because it's mutually recognised. I don't care. It's a sport and it's our sport. We fucking own
Exactly.
it. We'll do what the fuck we want with it.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
anyone
I
else.
remember, ESPN, they used to televise paintball, like paintball
Ah,
tournaments
that's
back
right,
in the
yeah.
day
Yeah,
before kind of, before paintball kind of started getting like losing its momentum or whatever. They used to televise it on ESPN 3 or something like that.
that's
I
right, yeah.
think I think airsoft's going to pick up more than it is.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Whether or not that could be a good thing or not, I don't know, because
Yeah.
obviously there's potential to always drag politics into
Yep.
these things that people aren't going to agree with.
Right.
Um, but it could be for the best. We don't know.
Right.
Um, I mean, obviously, I think things in the States are probably a lot more positive, just because the general outlook on gun-related community,
Oh, okay.
anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah. That makes
obviously,
sense.
yeah, I mean, here in the UK, anything sort of gun-related is still very much a no-no.
Okay.
And
Can you
you're better.
guys have real guns or like what can you have? Like
Yeah, yeah.
shotguns? Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But they've so heavily restricted and so
Oh,
heavily policed
gotcha.
that there's not the same sort of variety. I mean, obviously, I know there's certain states that you can have fully automatic weapons, and or some of them have to be semi-auto only. Over here, you can't have a semi-auto weapon at all.
Oh, okay.
It has to be lever action, bolt action, or hand pump.
Yeah, pump. Yeah.
So pistols, stuff like that, one lock shot.
Oh, okay.
But you can own pretty much any caliber you want.
Okay.
So you can have a 50 BMG, no problem.
Right.
You could own that on a standard rifle
Yep.
license over here. You wouldn't have to need a separate
Oh, okay.
license to own that caliber.
Right.
You can just have it added on to what you've got. Um, a friend of mine I go shooting with who takes me shooting, so I've not been with him for a while. He's got everything from Lee Enfield 303s, he's got 308s,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got 752s. Um,
Yeah. 308s are good,
uh,
man.
308s are fucking awesome.
Yeah. One of my buddies that
308s,
I've actually done a podcast with on here, and we met through YouTube. He has his own
yeah.
YouTube channel as well. It's a Gunfather Milsim. His name's Rob.
All right.
He's actually on a SWAT team here in America,
Well,
and he's a sniper. He's been a sniper for quite a few years, and he says we were talking about 308s one day, and he said, "Yep, 308 brings the hate." I said, "Yeah, it does."
not really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the guy
yeah,
behind him. Yeah. Look, and I mean, I'd never fired a 308 until I'd fired his.
yeah,
And it was remarkably surprising at the power behind those.
yeah. They're fun.
Uh, but he's got a great little 338 Magnum, Winchester style
Okay.
rifle, and that's fucking awesome. That thing,
Yeah.
um, just very very cool cowboy esque Winchester,
Right.
and it's cool as fuck. Uh, but yeah, it's funny. It's always been. It's always going to be a bit of a taboo in this country. If
Right.
I'm honest, that's never going to change.
Now, do you guys have
We're
to have
still
a license to play airsoft?
no.
Okay.
It's a bit of a grey area.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yes and no. So what we have over here is known as a UCARA, which is United Kingdom. It's a defence basically. It's a legal
Yeah.
defence that a number that is affiliated with where you are a member of a particular site.
Yeah.
Most shops in the UK that sell airsoft rifles, etc., will not sell you a rifle unless you have a UCARA defence number.
Okay.
Um, However, it's not illegal to own airsoft weapons, nor is it illegal to buy airsoft weapons without this number. You can buy a second-hand air rifle, no problem. However, if you sell somebody a rifle and that person then goes out in the middle of the street and just starts hosing everybody down with it, the person who sold that rifle is actually more liable than the person that's actually just gone out in the street and started causing chaos. So that's the whole dynamic of
Right.
what's in play here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny, but obviously it causes problems from international shipping and stuff like that.
Right.
There's certain there's certain areas or certain shops in Europe where you get stuff sent in, and 9 times out of 10, that UCAR number is not even checked.
Okay.
But if that weapon is checked and there's no UCAR number on there, you can
Right.
guarantee that's going to get binned, and you're going to be
Yeah.
left with a £500 bill that doesn't have any outcome.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a bit strange. It's sort of understandable because we're also a nation of fucking idiots.
So are we, man.
I mean, I didn't want to say it. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, it's I think we're birthing a generation of yeah.
Who
Let's not get
knows?
in that.
Who knows? Hopefully that shit'll straighten itself out with common sense. But who knows? The
I
good thing
believe,
is when you go on the field, when you're in a hobby like airsoft or whatever, all that shit goes away. Like you don't have to worry
yeah,
about it. It
yeah.
just you go out
Leave it
there
at the
and
door.
play. Fucking don't worry about that shit. And then usually I'm drinking almost all the time anyway. So after an event or whatever, we're down in some beers or shots or whatever. So easy way to forget about all that shit that goes on,
Yeah,
especially
it's
online.
good. And it's amazing, because you go to these big. We have an event here called. It used to go under Ground Zero because of that's where it was at in. It's very very southern tip of it. Oh God, sorry, excuse me, it's a dog. The southern stop southern tip of the down of England, where they have this huge airsoft event, national
Yeah.
airsoft event on the ice. And there's times where like 3,000-4,000 people will turn up to this event,
Holy shit.
and yeah, it's fucking huge, man. There's people from all over Europe come, and there's
Yeah.
quite a couple of big airsoft YouTubers as well from the States have been over quite regularly.
Okay.
Um, and it doesn't matter who you are. We're all there to do the same thing,
Right.
and having that one thing in common enables that wall of ice to be broken, and you can fucking talk to anybody.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what creed, anything, and that's what it's about. That's what all of this is about,
Right.
and it's I think that's what's so addictive about this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a group of people that have that one thing in common, and we literally hurt each other.
Yep.
We literally hurt each other, and we
Yeah.
still turn up the next
Yeah.
the next week to do it.
Well, that's
So
the rite of passage, man. That's the the getting the gear that like you had to do some work to get to that point to some of these big
yeah,
events. Like you got to go, put some time and money into it, it, and then getting shot, and then
yeah,
or tripping on something and falling. It's
exactly, yeah.
yeah, it's that rite of passage, and it built those type of things that are difficult, and everyone goes through it. That's what builds camaraderie. That
Yeah,
struggle.
absolutely.
You all struggle in the same way, and when this guy shows up, or when when you're done with an event or a game, you
Yeah,
all
yeah,
know that you kind of have that respect because they went through the same thing. Yeah, it's a cool, really, really good community to be a part
yeah,
of.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you get. I mean, I don't know if you guys have the same term over there known as a Walter Mitty. Where somebody who very much thinks they're in their army, but they're not.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're stolen valor is probably a prominent word over there, but we call somebody a Walter Mitty over here
Oh okay.
after a film,
Oh okay.
and of course you get them turning up, and everybody thinks they're fucking John Rambo and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you just sort of, the way we deal with it is generally we take a piss out of them.
Yeah.
We don't directly go up to them and start ripping into them. They're
No.
doing their thing. Let them get
Yeah.
on with it. They're not
Right.
harming you. But I mean, from a distance, between the lads, you can go, look at this dickhead. And I personally don't see any harm in that. As long as you're not going,
Right.
you're a fucking asshole. it's cool. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
It's
fine.
part of it.
Yeah. And they'll
You're
learn.
gonna get those
Most of the
battles.
time they'll learn, you know.
Oh god, absolutely. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's part of the fun. It's one of those things you look forward to
Yeah.
because you need those guys.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You need a Walter Mitty.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, bro, it has been really cool meeting you. And
Yeah, likewise.
you know, I'll have to do it again sometime soon after you guys have some more events, you know, big events coming up. I think you guys have something close to you. I think Alex Hillary was talking about it. She plays at Dirty Dog as well. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's at Halo Mills or something like that.
Halo
You guys have
Mills.
an event?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That place is fucking legit.
Really?
Like, yeah. So I mean, just quickly, sorry, before you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is we very our group of guys, Sarif, we come up from a very much woodland hardened airsoft area.
Right.
So we used to play in woodland, and we used to go to a site called Gun Ho. Unfortunately, that place closed down, and we've not seen from it or heard from it for a very, very long time. It's just come back on the market under Wasteland Airsoft. So that's
Okay.
Wasteland Airsoft, guys. Get yourself down. They're doing it. They're doing a deal right now, actually, for £12. It's a very limited deal. £12. You can go down for the whole day.
Wow.
They're opening back up, and that for a very long time was our home. That's all
Oh,
we ever played. We went
okay.
there, and it was a hell of a drive. It's like a 45-minute drive every
Yeah.
single Sunday morning. So it was quite a commute. But getting back to that, sorry, Halo Mills is very much heavily wooded arena. They've got this awesome, huge wooden bridge in the middle of the arena, which is probably about 5 or 6 stories high at the
Hmm.
pinnacle. And it's very much a battling point. So Halo Mills is like top tier
Yeah.
airsoft for us. For us personally,
That's
it's
cool.
shit hot. It's exciting
Yeah.
to know we're going down there. We're actually down there ourselves because obviously we put up a lot of YouTube videos on Northeast
Right.
Airsoft UK on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I follow you guys
We'll
on
put
that.
it, all right, yeah. So you'll have
Yeah.
seen it. We try and pump out a video every week. Michael, God bless him, yeah, Gaza. He does all the editing and stuff like that. He puts a lot of
Oh,
time
okay.
into it, and it's his baby, and got a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should see a lot of footage from that's coming up soon.
Yeah, I've seen the follow. I don't know if I follow the Halo Mills Instagram page or something like that, but I see a lot of pictures of it, and I thought, man, that looks awesome. You know, I'd love to play
Yeah.
somewhere like that too.
Well, you're gonna have to get your fucking yank ass over here and come and experience it. That's what you're gonna have to do.
Oh yeah, I'll be out there next week.
No, it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Oh, I know, right?
But that place is ran by Patrol Base, which is probably one of the UK's biggest sort of like airsoft stores, online stores.
Okay.
Um, but it's run by them, and they do a fucking great job of it.
Yeah.
The marshalling is absolutely fantastic. It's fair. The game style, it's continuous gameplay. So you rock up in the morning, and you have objectives throughout the entire day. So you're out all day if you want to be, rather than doing set games, going back to the car, refilling, blah, 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 and continuing that. Yeah, so they've got that shit nailed, man.
That's
It's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, awesome.
Yeah, we've got some so the next big event these guys are going to is in April, and that's the one here that they do every year that's it's called Stonebreaker, and there's
All right,
a site here that's a lot like the Halo Mills thing where, you know, it's one of the best sites in South Carolina
all
that's
right.
really big. It's GTI, and that's about 2.5 or like 2 hours
Yeah.
away from us, and so they're going to that. But I'm trying to talk to them into going to another bigger event in March that is in North Carolina, about 4 hours away from us, and so I don't know. We'll see. Their schedules are really busy with work and stuff, so a lot of, you know, they'll work a lot of weekends and everything, so
Yeah,
it's hard to get everybody together. But
yeah,
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 that's the
absolutely.
next The next one that they've gotten tickets for is in April. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I'll have to
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
out for that.
Yeah.
I'm very much interested in American Airsoft at the minute. I'm getting a bit of a taste for it.
Okay.
So I have to keep. Yeah, I mean, we try to get off Florida as often as possible. Me and my wife
Oh,
spent quite a lot of time there. But
nice.
actually, my wife's just come back 2 weeks ago from Florida. She said it was fucking freezing. So they had a nasty cold snap while she was there, and there was
Yeah.
frost on the ground and everything. Horrific.
My cousin lives there, and he sent me a picture of the weather on his phone,
Yeah,
and it was like 30 degrees in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
So bad. But next time we go, hopefully it'll be with a lot of friends and family. And I'm actually looking. I can't remember. You know what? I can't remember the name of the airsoft field there. It's in. Yeah, it's
I'll have
next
to
to
look it up.
Kissimmee. But
Yeah,
um, hopefully next time I'm there, I'm gonna try and get down on one day on a weekend.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, experience it for myself.
Well, listen, bro, it's been awesome, and appreciate you having being on here. I'm glad we got to work out a
Likewise, mate.
time. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it worked out good because we talked a couple weeks ago, and
yeah,
so yeah, it's been awesome, man. An open invitation to anyone else on your team if they want to come on and
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be really
I'm
cool.
I'm sure a couple of the boys would absolutely love to come on and talk utter bollocks for an hour.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
we've
that's
all got
all
a
we're
lot to
doing.
say.
you know.
But yeah, thanks for having us on, mate. I appreciate it, and
Absolutely.
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, man. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. See you
Later,
later,
bro.
man.